It's April 20th, 2008, and the checkered flag has fallen on the final Champ Car race. Through racing civil wars, tragedy, fantastic racing, and amazing talent, the series that started all the way back in 1979 is officially over. But although the series is dead, and has been for quite some time, it should be remembered. So today, we talk about the end, the 2008 Long Beach Grand Prix, or as it's known by most, the final Champ Car race. Entering 2008, the IndyCar split, which had been going on since 1996, was finally coming to an end. With this, the original 2008 Champ Car schedule was cancelled, with only one race being kept on as a ceremonial end to Champ Car, that being this race in Long Beach. Due to scheduling issues, the race would be held the day after the IndyCar race at Twin Ring Motegi, the race where Danica Patrick won her only ever IndyCar race. As you'll find out later on in this video, the broadcast would show you how big of a deal this was to them. This race was not only significant for it being the final Champ Car race, but it would also mark the final ever IndyCar start for the likes of Frank Pera, David Martinez, Alex Figge, Antonio Pizzonio, Roberto Moreno, Juho Inala, and lastly, 1996 kart champion Jimmy Vasser. Justin Wilson would start this race from the pole position, with Alex Tagliani alongside. Now, after the Sebastian Saavedra All IndyCar episode, I was pretty traumatized by standing starts, and well, guess what we have right here? Yep, for this race there'd be a standing start. And with everything set up, we can get to the start of the race. Much like every time IndyCar tried standing starts in 2014, we had two cars stall right off the line. More specifically, it was Alex Figge and Oriol Servia who stalled. Before the yellow would come out, Will Power, who started fourth, got a fantastic start and swept by both teammate Tagliani and poleman Wilson, taking the lead into turn 1. After Servia and Figge were refired, the race would restart on lap 3. Only a lap after the restart, we already had more calamities. Paul Tracy would overshoot turn 1 after blowing a right rear tire, spinning the car back around and merging into traffic, and nearly getting rear-ended by EJ Vizo in the process. This wouldn't bring the yellow out, as Paul Tracy would bring the car back in one piece. What did bring the yellow out was Mario Moraes going into turn 1 about 50 miles an hour too quickly, and then piling into the outside wall. I'm not sure if he had a brake failure, a brain failure, or what, because god Jesus, that was an overshoot and a half. After the accident was cleared, we got back racing with Will Power in the lead, Justin Wilson in second, and Tagliani in third. Well, this was before Justin Wilson's engine failed on lap 14. Soon after this, a final caution of the day came out when
Nelson Philippe,
who's leading after Will Power came into the pits, stopped at the hairpin and had to get his car refired. The only other incidents for the rest of this race was Graham Rahal getting spun by Frank Montagny, and ABC spending the last 7 minutes of the series talking to Danica Patrick. They either did this just to piss on Champ Car's grave or really just want to play up the significance of Danica's win. I mean, don't get me wrong, this race wasn't the best in the world, but don't turn the last laps of a race into a daytime talk show. Will Power would end up winning the race by 5 seconds, leading all but 2 laps on the day. I'll be brutally honest and say that besides this race's historical significance, it was pretty forgettable. If you strip away the rose-tinted glasses and nostalgia of seeing these cars and some of these drivers for one last time, you don't have too good of a race in my opinion. It doesn't help that watching this race just makes me feel sad. I wasn't around to see kart and only watched my first IndyCar race in 2011, but the broadcast should have celebrated the series better. I could best describe this broadcast of the experience of going to a dying mall. You know the fate of what you're looking at, and you might not feel the whole significance, but you still understand that it was significant to many people, and its last moments just fill you with a sense of plain emptiness. That's really what I feel watching this race, and it's sad more than anything else. It's a shame that the series came to an end this way, because it really doesn't do the great races in the series justice. Thank you for watching, and have a great afternoon.